Hey, how's it going guys? Welcome back for another Q&A video. Right, so a new patch has just dropped in TOS, right, and then a brand new cards and gameplay is out. Right, so anyway, this is Q&A session for November, right? So the previous patch have a lot of impactful content, right? So let's take a look at what kind of questions you have for me this time. Okay, so first question of the day: what do you think of the current state of water cards and leaders? Right, so if you look at the Flower Elf series, right, the previous patch, right, it's been a new patch already. So the previous patch we have Cornflower, right, which is a brand new addition to the water leader, right? You can, of course, you can play it without a mono elf team. It works perfectly fine, right? And then we have a new dark black platinum card, Atlantis, right? So this really just flip over the whole water team is weak kind of mentality, right? So Cornflower is an extreme burst kind of setup, right? Even with a mono elf team, right, you can still do tons of damage, right? Plus a bonus tumbler effect. Atlantis, black card, right? Enough said, right? This is the new water Yanxi, I would say. He's gonna be the one that's taking over the damage dealing part, right? Water Yanxi is more of a balanced team setup, right? So Atlantis, right, definitely a burst water card leader, right? So water has been, I think, moved up already in the rankings in terms of overall versatility, right? So now I feel that Earth is gonna be the weakest for now, right? We will see what happens in the upcoming patch or new cards whatsoever, right? So current state of water, very good, moving up. Let's keep it that way, Madhead, right? Time to show some love for Earth cards. Let's move on to the next question. Right, next question comes from Daryl Sia asking, do I still need Lupu if I have Satan? Right, so my answer to you is why not? Right, so it's the same as having, like, saying if I have this like one strong leader, right, should I have another one? Like, why not, right? To be honest, Satan, yes, is a good card. Lupu, also a very good card. Right, I'll rate Lupu over Satan. In fact, why is because Lupu extremely high damage output, right? And then Lupu is a human, Satan's a demon, right? Demon and God, these two races are the most commonly locked down in majority of the battles, right? You see God and demon locks everywhere, right? I wouldn't say it's very common nowadays, but it still exists, right? Human lock, not so common, right? So Lupu is still a very high damage cap kind of playstyle, alright? So if you can, of course, draw that Lupu, it'll be a great addition to your team. Alright, next question. Do you think that there will be an improvement for Babylonian Gods pretty soon? They are almost underrated up to now, right? With many current meta, even Inanna and Michael Lucifer can't compare to any of that, right? So to be honest, I think, yeah, it's true that Babylonian is falling apart from the meta, right? It depends on the stage, really, right? It still works in some scenarios whereby you have kind of accumulative shield, for example, light accumulative shield, like 20 light or 30 light. Yeah, Inanna still works fine because of the sky drop and stuff like that, right? But now with Origin of Demons having power release, right, it's gonna catch up with Babylonians, and Beelzebub can do a better job, in my opinion, right? Because what Beelzebub active skill is pretty much one turn of, you know, Inanna kind of active skill, right? One round of light sky drop. So in my opinion, the only way for them to fix Babylonian now is either they release a power release version of Anu, right, or they go for the VR for Babylonians, which I think is a bit unlikely, right? We'll see how they go, right? So for Norse, if you remember, when Norse is kind of falling apart, they kind of power release Odin, and then they do something with the boss related cards for that series, right? So I'm talking about like Zeus, Odin, Anu, you know, for example. Right, so that's one way to do it, right? Because Anu being the boss of the Babylonian gods, maybe he can get a power release to save Babylonians, who knows, right? So for this, we'll leave to Madhead to decide what to do with Babylonian gods, because I really wish for their comeback. Right? I haven't used them in a long time, to be honest. Right, so let's move on to the next question. Right, so next question comes from Eddie, asking, do you think that Madhead could do an SM or ultimate stage based on the 8.5 seal? Right, so those of you who don't know the term 8.5 seal is basically talking about the void of the realm, right, having the alternate reality gameplay kind of thing. Right, with attribute disadvantage and special condition, lately we have some sadistic stages, right, which is going ever more difficult for free to play players. Right, what are your thoughts on this? So I feel that the seal 8.5 is more of like an extra kind of gameplay, right? Like kind of like to stall players from like completing the whole game in a way, right? So for now, you can see that we have the nice seal have been out for very long, and everybody has been trashing the nice seal, the boss, right? For some gameplay examples, right? Even me, right? Whenever I want to feature some sort of gameplay, I'll use the nice seal battle as an example because it's way too easy, right? So maybe the 8.5 seal is just to stall us, right? We have some sort of mini stages like hell, right, where we can farm her, right? So remember, we still have Freak, which is not out yet, right? Maybe they will release a stage somewhat similar to hell, but I don't think it's gonna be ultimate stage sort of difficulty, right? So it will be challenging, right, if they have an ultimate stage because of the attribute disadvantage to us as well, right? So hopefully not, right? I'll really pity free-to-play players on this aspect, because with limited cards it's really difficult to bypass whatever skills Madhead have nowadays, plus the attribute disadvantage on you as well. It's gonna be pretty tough, right, I would say, right? But nonetheless, it's gonna be interesting if they ever drop this one, right? We'll see how it goes, right? So let's move on to the next question. By far, from your TOS experience, what do you learn from spending diamonds, and what do you regret spending diamonds on? Right, so what do I learn from spending diamonds, right? Probably not a very good way to spend your money, first and foremost, right? But the thing is, I do it for the sake of you guys, right? If I do not buy diamonds, I doubt I'll be able to collect a full collection of entire new series, right, to feature for you guys, right? So on top of that, of course, spending diamonds is going to make your life so much easier in terms of like skill farming, drawing cards and stuff like that, right? You can not worry, don't worry about like, oh, I'm gonna run out of diamonds, oh, I left 5 diamonds, there's one more draw, should I draw, should I not draw, right? Then expanding inventory is a problem as well. So having diamonds definitely is more helpful in terms of game progression, right? So, and what did I regret spending diamonds on?
Yo, how's it going, people? Today is 200% increase chance in getting Maylocks.
Why did I even do that? Dumb moments. Okay, will Nobunaga series or Cao Cao series get amelioration? Right, so Sengoku series as well as what's that series? Cao Cao, Sun Quan, Guan Yu, that series, right? So Imperial Warlord, I feel Sengoku and Imperial Warlord, right? Will they get amelioration? Right, so note that this series, right, limited seal series, is not actually a collaboration, right? So it means that it's going to be staying in the game forever, right? So at this point of time, note that we have we did get amelioration for this kind of limited card series as time goes by, right? So what I can say is that Nobunaga and Cao Cao series, no way they're going to get amelioration anytime soon, right? So because they are very relevant in the game right now, right, there is no reason why Madhead should focus on resources trying to give them a quality of life change, right, in terms of amelioration, right, when they can focus on other stuff at this point of time, right? So maybe like 1 year down the road, right, when Nobunaga, Cao Cao, Guan Yu, all these are no longer in the meta, right? Maybe they'll throw in an amelioration to make them more relevant in that meta, when the time comes, right? So as far as this series is concerned, I don't think they're gonna get amelioration anytime soon, right? Let's move on to the next one. Okay, hi Aaron, I would like to ask you, if Origin of Demons got power release, do you think Madhead made the right choice to boost Beelzebub attack for 0.5% only? Right, so I think I saw a similar question like in the folder, right? I think I'll get back to this question in a while. Right, so let's address this question first, right, from Chi Xiong, asking, will there be another Dark Platinum card in Chinese New Year other than Tan Sang Zhang and Bu Wife? I'm Fan Princess, okay. Hope Madhead will include Zhu Bajie if they are gonna make a new Dark Platinum card for Journey to the West. I hope not, right? Okay, that's just like basically my biased opinion because I have not drawn Tan San Zhang and Iron Fan Princess, right? So the fact that if they're gonna add in one more, I have 3 Dark Platinum cards to draw, well, that is gonna be a lot of money spent, right? So but then Madhead have to do something, right, during Chinese New Year. That's when they earn the most money, in fact, I feel, right? So back then, right, Chinese New Year, they are ongoing 200% increase for Chinese gods, right, which is Daji, Neza, which is pretty much not usable. I won't say not usable, but they are not appearing in current metas, as you guys realize, right? Which is why they throw in the Tan San Zhang and Iron Fan as the new Chinese New Year cards, right? So I believe they will be making a return, right, in which it's time for me to get them this time, I hope. Right, so meanwhile, if they do, throw a Dark Platinum card in, okay, fine, I'll just pretty much draw them all and settle it. That's gonna be a lot of money, right? That's gonna be all my ang pao money. Fingers crossed they do not do something stupid this Chinese New Year. Right, let's move on to the next question. Okay, so here it is, the question that is relevant to the previous question, right? Please give Origin of Demons power release and Pili Puppet amelioration reviews. Right, so reviews, it's time to shift the screen to the classic screen. Okay, so we are back here with the classic layout. Right, so let's talk about Pili Puppet first, since they are the first to arrive, right? Before the power release Origin of Demons come in. Right, so let's talk about the 3 jackpot cards, because to be honest, the 3 jackpot cards are the only cards worth ameliorating if you guys are asking me that opinion as well. Right, so do not waste your souls on other cards, right? Mo Wangzi, all those, no, just don't even invest on them. Right, so let's talk about the first jackpot card for Pili Puppet series, right? Su Huanzhen. Right, so he's gonna give you a change. It's pretty much a change, a quality of life change for Su Huanzhen. Right, so this is the thing I'm talking about, right? Back then, when people asked me in the previous few Q&A session, which of the following water leaders do you think is going to get improvement, right? My guess was Su Huanzhen. Ha! Look at this. Right, so Su Huanzhen, amelioration is pretty much, I think Madhead gave Pili Puppets amelioration, but they mainly focus on Su Huanzhen, right? So let me explain. Amelioration 1, you can see they increase the stats, right? On top of that, amelioration 2, attack bonus, amelioration 3, recovery bonus, amelioration 4 is the big bonus here. Right, so let's take a look at the change in active skill. Right, so water attack times 4.5 means that it gains an extra multiplier. Right, on top of that, dissolving 3 or more, there's no difference. Then extra water attack launch as much as 3.5. Previously was 3. Right, so you think that 0.5 is not really a lot, right? But take a look at the overall team leader multiplier. Right, if I remember correctly, I think it was 3.5 or 4. Right, water attack times 4. Now it's 4.5. Right, on top of that, it's gonna launch a 3.5 extra attack instead of 3, so that's going to be a lot of extra damage. Right, so my reason why I feel that Su Huanzhen is a bit weird in terms of active skill is because it converts water, heart, and light. Right, why in the world do we need light runes for his active skill when this guy is mainly a mono water leader? Right, which is something that confused me, so they kind of fixed it now. Right, so now with Amelioration 4, light runes possess 25% of water effect. Okay, superimposable, which means it's half, 50% water runes. Right, so now it's pretty much more it makes more sense, right? Like for Su Huanzhen to convert light. So previously I think they kind of want to do the Honda Qiao sister kind of gameplay, right? They want to mix the water light hybrid gameplay. Maybe they think we can put Su Huanzhen as a member, which I feel that is kind of stupid in my opinion, right? The light and water hybrid gameplay is not really working out very well, right? So this is Su Huanzhen for you guys, right? So this is the #1 card you want to power, you want to ameliorate, right? In the entire Pili Puppet series, right? So let's move on to the next card. Right, so next jackpot card of Pili Puppet, Ieyasu. Right, so this guy, right, animated skin is not out yet. Right, so this, you can pretty much treat this guy as a Ursula, right? Right, so this is the human version of Ursula, right? And then the Xiao Chai is the novelist. Right, so Ieyasu, to ameliorate or not is really up to you guys, right? To be honest, stats wise, it's just an increase in stats, right? Active skill -2. You already have an increase, a decrease in CD when you pair with Xiao Chai, right? So active skill -2, right? It's just gonna be an extra bonus for you guys, right? So to be honest, I feel that Ieyasu is not really a must to ameliorate, right? And then you can see amelioration 2 and 4 is basically the same as Ursula, which is the double sword amelioration, right? So that's my view on Ieyasu. Alright, so let's take a look at Xiao Chai now. Right, okay, here. Right, so Xiao Chai, we have this weird animation, right? It looks like his neck is gonna break off. Right, so Xiao Chai, as I mentioned, is gonna be the novelist of the Pili Puppet series, or basically the Ieyasu and Xiao Chai gameplay. Right, so let's take a look. Basically, what you have here is an active skill change as well, right, for amelioration 4. Right, so double sword amelioration, am I correct? Human attack, yes. Double sword amelioration for Xiao Chai, and then amelioration 1 is stats bonus. So amelioration 4 allows you to deactivate Xiao Chai anytime, right? Upon doing that, current CD -2. Right, so in my opinion, I feel that this guy is going to be the second one you want to ameliorate, because you can deactivate this guy anytime, means that you can bypass things like neutralize reset by just turning it off. Right, by turning it off, it actually activates, converts enchant light and enchant dark as well. Right, so if you want to do a cheeky double activation, right, like you turn it off and turn it on, you can actually do a double convert for your bot as well. Right, so this is pretty much a big change for Xiao Chai. Right, this means that you do not have to do double Xiao Chai setup, right, in case of a neutralize reset kind of stage, right? So this allows you to bring in one more dark member to fill in the slot, right? So Xiao Chai, to ameliorate or not, I recommend it, right? But I think if you are low on souls, I recommend doing Su Huanzhen first before doing Xiao Chai. Alright, so with this, let's move on to Origin of Demons. Okay, so Origin of Demons, we're going to split this into 2 sections. Alright, so we're going to do the red, green, blue. Alright, then we do the light and dark series, right? Because these are of 2 different playstyles, right? Of course, let's take a look at Abaddon here, because he has the most badass artwork among the 3: water, fire, earth. Right, so let me know in the comments below which of it is your favorite artwork. Right, I know everybody's gonna say Beelzebub, but just let me know. Alright, so anyway, Abaddon, or in fact the water, fire, earth members of the Origin of Demons series have power release now. Right, so let's take a look at the amelioration is the same, right? So let's take a look at the leader skill first. Right, so leader skill, fire attack times 4. Right, so if you put leader same as ally, it's going to move up to 4.5. So this is going to be, I would say, also a quality of life change for Origin of Demons, because their multiplier is kind of lacking at the current meta. So by pushing it to 4.5, it kind of make them more relevant again. Their damage output can match up to whatever team is out there at this point of time. Right, so everything else is pretty much the same. Right, you have runestone that is the most in number, have effects of fire rune, and if fire is the most, you can see that fire attack times 1.8 additionally, right, which is very, very strong. Okay, so active skill wise, I kind of expected this, right, because it makes no sense for you to dissolve 5 colors within the whatever 5-second movement time that you have, right, which I think that is very, very it kind of get a bit of a disadvantage to you, right, if you kind of run into a 2-second movement time or a time down debuff and stuff like that, and you want to activate Origin of Demons active skill for that burst, right? So it's a bit difficult for you to spin 5 colors if you are being debuffed with a time down, stuff like that, right? So for now, we have for 1 round extend rune movement time 12 seconds, right? I'm not sure whether you really need 12 seconds. I find that 10 seconds is really good enough. Right, so for the more runestones, more types of runestones dissolve, the higher the fire attack to the max 2.2. So this makes it more possible, right? If you have a board of 5 colors, right, pretty scattered all across the board, you activate this guy, 12-second movement time, you're bound to dissolve all 5 colors. Right, so a very big quality of life change. The only thing that I do not like about this series still, right, is the CD. CD10. Right, nowadays, the current meta, CD10 is a very, very long time, right? I just wish that this, you know, kind of get like a CD8 after power release, but it didn't happen. Right, so anyway, still a fantastic card, right? I have them all max already. So, yeah, let's move on to Blizzard and Mastima. Okay, so Twilight Flylady Blizzard. So, previously, the first question asked, does it do justice to Origin of Demons by giving Blizzard just a 0.5% increase in multiplier? Right, so, to be honest, it's really more than that. If we really look into the passive and the active skill, the leader skill, it really, really makes a big difference, right? It's not just 0.5% increase in leader skill, it's way more than that. Right, so let's take a look at leader skill here of Blizzard. Light attack times 4.5. I think there's an increase. Is there an increase in... there's no increase in multiplier. Alright, so light attack times 4. Right, so times 4, which is pretty okay, to be honest, for a Blizzard kind of setup. Right, extend rune movement time by 1 second, so double leader is going to be 2. By dissolving a group of 5 or more light stones, light attack times 1.5 additionally. That's the passive, right? So times 4, and then you add on the times 1.5 additionally, can be superimposed. That is actually a great amount of damage deal, right? So let's take a look at we have our team skill, right? So this is gonna be a big game changer for Blizzard and Mastima, right? So for each group of 5 or more light runestones dissolve, turn 2 random runestones into enchanted light, right? Take note. To the max 6 runestones, so you can do 3 groups of 5, right? If you have a lot of light runes, right, you split them apart, you get 6 enchanted light runes. For each groups of 5 or more non-light dissolve, 1 random runes will be turned into light rune, right? So to the max 3. So if you have kind of a perfect board, right, you dissolve them, you can convert the next round to the max 9 light runestones. That is a lot. Alright, so on top of that, let's take a look at okay, let's ignore Belial for the time being, right? I hope Belial's ultimate stage is coming back soon, right? Because I have not farmed him to max skill. Right, so active skill for one round, if a group of 4 more runestones are dissolved in the column, 2 enchant light runes is generated. Right, so I think a lot of people underestimate the power of enchanted runes. Right, it really do an extra amount of damage. Right, even a color change on the rune, right? Enchanted runes is really a big game changer, right? So I'll find that the disadvantage of this power release, right, compared to a non-power release one, is probably a anti-enchanted shield, right, in which you really cannot escape this time because it auto-generates for you. Means somehow there's going to be enchanted runes on the board, right? So you have to be very careful with that. Right, so that's my opinion on the Origin of Demons as well as the Pili Puppet series. Right, hopefully I went through a brief overview of these two series, and maybe you guys can decide whether to power release or to ameliorate the two series. Right, we're done with the review. Right, so this pretty much concludes the Q&A session for November, right? So thank you guys for sending in the questions once again, right? So I know I'm a bit late on this Q&A session, right? I've been very busy with schoolwork. Exam is next week for me. Alright, so RIP, I'm going to be going back to study soon, right? So hopefully you guys enjoy this session of Q&A, and hopefully you guys can decide whether to power release your Origin of Demons as well as whether to ameliorate your Pili Puppet series. Right, so with this, hopefully you guys are enjoying the new patch Medhead has just dropped out for you guys. Right, so happy TOSing. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.